Can we talk about that hotel room?
With the blood on the wall?
Yeah, just blood in the bathroom, just chilling. And the fact that all of our reactions were the part that scared me, because I think, was it you, Haze, that found the blood?
Yeah, I was like, guys, there's some blood on the wall in the bathroom.
You said it so calmly, and Phoenix just goes, okay.
Well, I mean, okay, we're in the middle of West Virginia, and there's some blood on the wall, alright? It's not like, you expect me to be surprised? There could be a dead hooker in the bathtub for all I fucking care. Like, it just fits. In the middle of fuck nowhere.
You know, I've spent a lot of time, like, in the Midwest, in, like, random hotels, and that sort of shit really just happened.
Dude, like, obviously we went back up to Ohio a lot to see family, but even then we typically stayed like at their houses or something. I never got that feeling from hotel rooms. And it was so calm. And then I just stared at you two, and you acted like it just like, that's part of the hotel. It's part of the decor, you know. It's part of the ambiance.
It kind of was.
It was, and I don't know about you two, but I didn't touch it.
Why would I touch it?
Touch the blood?
Phoenix, don't you act like you're above that. You were the exact type of person I know who'd be like, hey, watch this.
Okay, that for the bit, but shit, no one's in there. What, you think I went into the bathroom on my own to take a shit and lick the blood on the wall?
Sometimes you just have to take a little suck when you can, you know? You just take it when you can get it.
Also, Haze, you robbed a Goodwill. You awful, awful person.
Like you didn't steal from Walmart?
That's different. I stole from a corporation. I stole from a man.
Goodwill's a corporation, too. They're just trying to make a little money.
I just stole a cone.
I accidentally watched... So we went into the Goodwill to try and find a suit for Cage. And,
because I didn't prepare. I didn't buy the suit before the wedding. I bought it the day before, and
partially the day of.
Yeah, because we found out I grabbed the wrong stuff, so I was almost late to the wedding. That's not important.
So he just passed me off a tie.
Yeah, no. The day of the wedding, he forces us to get in the car with him, and he's just like, I have forgotten everything. Everything is wrong. And so he's driving like 90 to 108 down the highway, and I'm just like watching his speed dial, and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna fucking die. But it wasn't like that, right? It's not because he was a crazy-ass driver. I was okay with the fact that we were driving fast. It was driving fast on the way back on the curvy back roads on the side of the mountain where he almost actually drove us off the fucking side.
Just going around this curve.
Dude, so there was a section of the road where it's all curves and all gravel, and obviously it slipped a little at one point, and I was like, oh, haha, we're gonna die. And then the next turn, my back wheels spun way out farther than I thought they were going to, and we almost actually died.
This motherfucker is Tokyo drifting his mom van around these like side mountains of West Virginia, and me and Haze are laughing about it, and he's like, oh my god, we almost fucking died. Why are you guys laughing? I was like, what am I supposed to do? Scream? I already know my fate. Like shit.
We were both like, "Hey, we die," and I think that was also a moment for you, Cage.
It was so nuts. It was not what you expect to happen. I thought it was like, oh, haha, funny, and then the road was like, you think I'm joking, and we almost actually died. And I was like, okay, so that was scary. And then I actually look at where we would have ended, and it's like a 500-foot drop, just. And I was just, dude, my eyes got so wide. I was like, oh my god. We went to.
It's funny because we're going over, going, it's fine. Oh my gosh, we just almost died.
There was a point.
It was like willing us to survive.
That was coming back to the wedding. I think the first time actually going to the wedding where we were on time, there was just two dogs on the road. I just stopped the car, got out, and just started petting dogs, and one of them almost jumped in the car. I had to pull him back.
Random-ass dogs in the woods of West Virginia.
He's like, what if we steal a dog and put him in a suit? Do you think they'll know that the dog's there? I'm just like, nah, man, get that dog in this fucking car.
We just start picking up the dogs, and then we sell them back to the people, and then we pick them up again.
It was so weird, because I just rocked up on two random dogs that could have been wild, and I just, no questions asked, no hesitation, I got on one knee and just started petting the dogs.
Yeah, you know what? And that wasn't the only time you got out of the car on the way there. You also drove a little bit further and got got out of the car to yell at this doe that was in the middle of the road. And then later looked up the side of the mountain and was like, holy shit, that's a big deer. And then you got in the car and like peeled off thinking that the deer was going to come attack your fucking car.
I was terrified because he was staring. No deer is posted.
Gets out of the car and he's just yelling at these deer and he's like, oh yeah, blah blah blah. I'm yelling at the deer and then he's like, that's a big boy.
But it's because it was just a random doe in the street, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna cuss it out and yell it, and it did go away. And then something just told me, look left, and right up the mountain, I'm talking a beefy boy of a deer, and that homie wasn't just there, he was staring me down, and I was like, oh no, I just talked to his woman. This ain't good. I gotta go. And yeah, I also, for some reason, just became the baby holder of the wedding, where just females with babies would walk up and just be like, hey, can you hold him for a second? And then 2 hours later show up and say, hey, sorry, that took a little longer than expected.
That wedding was one of the most awkward things I've ever done, because it was just Phoenix and I hanging out. We don't know any of these people. We're just sitting there and we're getting like the judgment looks. We just were sitting together like the two little girls from The Shining, because we kept walking places together. We didn't want to be separated.
Dude,
do you know?
It was like...
I assume you guys got a ton of like awkward looks from the family and all that. But could you imagine what I got? Because they were like, what is he doing here? I got told by 2 people saying like, are you even supposed to be here? And I said, well, kinda. Kevin invited me. And then an hour later, I'm the officiant, and they're just staring at. I see them in the seats, and I just stared them down, and they were just like, "Are you? That's the pastor?" It's like, yeah.
Me and Haze before the wedding actually just went to the basement area and just hung out there for like an hour.
We went into the men's bathroom of this like camp we were hanging out at, and we were just like chilling in the men's room.
Yeah, she took a piss. I was taking mirror selfies. It was pretty great.
So before the wedding actually started, where the groomsmen were getting ready and the bridesmaids were getting ready, I essentially had to take charge because no one was picking a decision. So, the 20-year-old reverend over here has to just make it happen and tell everyone what to do. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, there were some fine females. I'm just gonna put that out there anyway. But I go to check on the bride and all them, see like timing wise, like, hey, how much longer we got? And they were stressed. They were freaking out, not knowing what to do. They were trying to hurry. You know what I mean? And I was like, let me go check on the boys. The boys have been ready for 2 hours in their suits, and now 3 of them are halfway out of a window poking at shit in a gutter with a stick because they're that bored. And I was just like, what's happening? And they just said, we're waiting.
I mean, well, you're just like standing around trying to round people up, even as like the wedding is getting started. Phoenix and I are trying to stream, and we're sitting there like, should we stream now? I don't know.
Yeah.
You could have done anything, but I know it was so awkward because it was like, it's nothing to do. Mm-hmm. But I was trying so hard with, because everyone was making fun of the one dude. I want to say his name was Brandon, because he wasn't there when everyone else was, because he had to go actually get his shirt because he got the wrong one. And it was before the wedding. And they were like, oh, haha, look at him, he forgot. And I go into the room and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get changed, boys. And I'm talking 3 minutes later, I realized the pants don't fit, the shirt don't fit, I forgot the tie. There was a lot going on. And I just ran out, grabbed you two and said, all right, we're leaving now. We left, came back, and then Kevin was like, hey man, where'd you go? And I said, oh, I had to go to Walmart and buy a whole new set of clothes. He said, you did what? And I said, I'm here, aren't I?
That's true.
He was just like, why? I said, boy, I couldn't fit in the pants. I'm not going to rock up there just with... Could you imagine someone walking up, being the reverend, pants are undone, and they're just holding on by the thighs? Just hoping. Just hoping.
Bruh, your shirt was kind of praying too towards the end.
Dude, yeah. I'm telling you, because... Okay, so the largest they had was 1 under what I could wear, and I was like, I have to make it work. There's no options. So the entire service, I am like full on sucking everything I've got in. Every button looks like Spider-Man in that scene when he's holding the train back. He's just holding it together. And then at the end of the wedding, when I told everyone leave, I went off to the side room where all the boys were. And then Brandon, who had said, "Hey man, are you good?" And I said, "Cover your eyes." He said, "What?" And I, like, where the Spider-Man were holding on, and it's just holes, put my fingers in between, and I ripped the shirt off, and buttons flew everywhere. And I just hear, "Holy shit, get down!"
Yep.
And the rest of the time we were there, and we went and ate food, I had nothing on underneath but a wife beater. And
Yep.
I had the wife beater on that was tucked into my dress pants, and I had the now ripped and torn shirt just draped over me, and I was eating that chicken and rice.
Dude, that chicken
And
was so good.
Oh, that chicken was really good.
That chicken was so good.
Dude, Amaya's grandma can really cook.
You know, I
Nice.
really forgot to bring like any food for myself to eat at all on that trip. I really like
You had to microwave potatoes.
I barely ate for like several days.
That's right.
Oh, and then we went to Denny's and we had good food, and you were like, "Oh, can I get
No,
get
it was
hash browns?"
It was Bob Evans.
Bob Evans.
That's
and they
right.
did your hash browns dirty, and then you just sat there and just stared at it. We're like, "Well, I can't eat." And then Phoenix, without saying a word, just starts eating your hash browns.
He's just like,
Yeah. I mean, it's not like it mattered. Cage was sitting there getting mad at this old man for looking at him the whole time. He's like, "That fucking old man's looking at me. You guys see that old man looking at me? Dude, I'm gonna go fuck this shit up." And I'm just like, Cage, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, it
Dude.
doesn't matter.
he was like
Okay.
a 90-year-old man.
Yeah, but he was staring. That doesn't change the fact. You have some decorum at a Bob Evans, okay? You
That
have
was
some
like-
respect.
That was like a 90-year-old man. He's like,
don't
he
care.
could probably barely see with the cataracts.
Well, he about to see these fists when they start flying. I swear to God. Because, okay, I'm sat, and then Phoenix and Haze were on the opposite side looking at me. On this side, where we were at, all the way at the end, there's an old man just hard staring me down. And then I decided, I'm going to intimidate him. And so I started staring him down back, and he didn't back down. And then I got intimidated.
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. This man's probably old and senile. This is the first time his wife and children or grandchildren, I guess, taking him out to go eat breakfast on a nice Sunday, and he's just like, "Man, I love whatever the fuck he was eating." And then you're just sitting there going, "This old man, he's probably like kind of delusional a little bit, like."
This is the first time he's been out of the house in a few years, and the first thing he gets is me walking up to him. "We got a problem, ma'am? We'll take this outside."
He just like decks some guy's shit. He's got osteoporosis.
Okay. There was a point, because we got a 2-bedroom hotel, and I was in one of them in the middle of the night. I got I'm talking a mad cramp, right? I mean, like a huge Charlie horse in my leg.
Remember that?
I woke up in so much. Okay,
Oh my
I'm
God.
laughing because I know what happened. I woke up and I'm talking so much pain, and so the only thing I could do, because if I tried standing on it, it just hurt more. Laying down, it hurt the same. So I was on all fours, like knees and hands. I'm writhing in pain, and I'm trying to breathe, and I'm hearing nothing. They're not asking if I'm okay, so I'm like, they're sleeping. I just need to sleep, and I cried myself to sleep that night. And apparently, from what I was told, they both were awake. They both saw everything that happened. They just
I
decided
look
not
over,
to say
this man
anything.
is just screaming and moaning and fucking the bed, and I'm like, I'm not getting involved in that. He's on the whole place, doggy style.
I was playing on completely the other side of the fucking room. So like Haze was between me and Cage was in the other bed. And I'm laying on my side, and I hear Cage like screaming and moaning, and I kind of sit up and look over, and he's kind of like writhing, and I was just like, "Damn, he is fucking hard in his dream." You know what? I'm just not. And then I turned back over and tried so fucking hard to ignore what was happening.
I was just kind of laying on my side, and I'm just watching this go down, like.
But I am in so much pain, and I'm like, they're sleeping. I can't do this to them. I'm just gonna go to sleep. I cried all night till I fell asleep. Woke up, and then they just said, "Oh yeah, no, we watched the whole thing."
Dude,
Not
do you
even
think
a, not even a. Hey, are you good?
Yeah.
Do you think I was gonna get involved?
You could have just said, "Hey, are you done?" If you thought it was that.
You know,
I was already traumatized from the whole night because I'm deeply disgusted by Haze touching me at any single point. The whole night she was taking her foot and rubbing it up and down my thigh, like the whole night. No matter where I'd move in the bed, she would somehow manage to take her fucking foot all the way up to my like upper thigh and like rub it up and down. And I'm just like, how do you even manage to get your foot up here? Like, stop fucking touching me. I'd like kick her back and like hit her,
I have no
and
idea.
she would like
I have no
just
idea.
like get there, her foot on my thigh, no matter what. Like there was no in between. So yeah, I didn't give a fuck about you fucking the bed, Cage. Like I just wanted everything to be done.
Oh, you know,
That night
much,
was wild.
I don't think any of us really sleep, but we were all assuming the other people were sleeping hard.
Yeah, because it was dead silent. And I was just like, I didn't want to be rude. Turns out you two just let me die. And just like, oh no, he's in pain. He's cool.
Well,
He'll walk it
I mean,
off.
for one, the weirdest thing was we went to bed at like 10 p.m. Tell me any of us go to bed at 10 p.m.
We were so dead though.
Yeah,
Like-
I was really exhausted because like our morning started really fucking early because he showed up at like 8 a.m. just for us to drive like 8 hours
Oh,
to.
I had to drive an hour to get you, then 4 to 5.
Yeah.
Oh, it was rough. No, it was a 2-hour to you because of where I was. But so for me, I got you guys at 8. I woke up at fucking 5:30, and I got showered. I got ready. I picked you up. We left. Got to the place. That was the fact there was no, and I'm talking no cell reception, terrified me a little bit because of just how in the mountains we were.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't have any cell reception here.
Dude,
I do.
It was terrifying. Like that, there was nothing, and then the creepy, what's that dude? Is it Nathan Bates or Nathan whatever? I'm trying to think of the horror dude who owns a hotel.
Oh,
The Bates
Norman.
Hotel. Norman Bates. We had the Norman Bates Hotel that was right down the street from my boy Kevin's house. Remember that
Oh,
one
yeah,
we
I
pulled
still
up
say
on?
we should've stayed
we
there.
should have stayed there. I think we would have slept much better over there.
Dude, it
There
was-
wouldn't have been blood in the walls.
It said hotel in the most. It was one of those signs that each letter was made from a different previous sign.
Yeah.
And I looked at it and I was like, hotel. And I decided to actually look at it, and it's just 3 trailers glued together. And I was like, oh, let's do it. And Phoenix
I was
looks.
like, hell yeah.
Oh, the second time. The first time you looked and said, hell no, drive. That was an experience for sure.
Dude, I almost died. I almost died 3 different times
I
on
was
that
just
trip.
about to say, are we going to talk
One-
about when Cage almost pushed Phoenix right out the car?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, like, not only did I almost die because he drove us off the mountain, but I have this voice I do sometimes that sounds like an actual child, but it's not. It's like unsettling, and I'll do the child voice, and like I was just doing it the whole like drive there, and it finally pushed Cage over the edge, where he's just like, "That's it, get the fuck out of my car," and I was like, "Fine, I'm going," and I unplugged my seatbelt and like swung it back, unlocked the door, and opened the door while we were going down the highway. Now Cage drives
just starts pushing her.
Cage was already driving like fucking 60 to 80 miles an hour down this like little ass like country road. I opened the door jokingly, and Cage two-hands me and pushes, and then I almost fall out the fucking door. And I was like, Cage, what the fuck? He's just like, I didn't mean to push you that hard. I'm like, I weigh like 100 pounds. What do you think that, what type of push do you think that I deserve to not be moved at all?
I didn't think you like I didn't think you what's it like weighed that less, like you were that light. I was like, oh, I'll just give it a little shove.
I mean, she had already
You almost
placed her
got
foot
launched.
like out of the
My-
car.
my
She
foot
had her
was, like-
foot like
Dude,
My foot
outside
was
the
out
door.
the door
I didn't know
because
that.
it was
All I
propping
thought
the
was
door
like
open.
I thought you were doing what everyone does, where they just like open the door, wait a second, then close the door. But your foot was out, and so by the time I actually pushed, you were already halfway out. And then Hayes
You're
just
an
sat
early
back there,
lost
didn't
Phoenix.
say a word, just like, well, she almost died.
Yeah.
Right?
Almost drove off the cliff, almost dropped Phoenix off the mountain. What was the third one?
I feel like it was like another incident with the car.
Why is it always with my driving? Listen, I'm a good driver, okay?
You know, you are a pretty good driver.
You're a pretty good driver. Just the thing
Okay.
is
Look,
we were
when
doing
I'm-
dumb shit.
I'm gonna say, okay, I am a good driver, But we were in very intense situations at one point, and there was no choice. I had to go. Could you imagine everyone's ready and the reverend's late to the wedding? Bro,
I mean, to be fair, you had plenty of time. The wedding still was off like 3 more hours after you came back.
Yeah, so we thought we were going to be late, and that's why I was hurrying. But by the time we got there, everyone kept saying, "Oh yeah, there's a certain item that was left at the house that they forgot about," and they kept referring to it as this certain item. It turns out somebody left all of the food. I'm talking all of the food, nothing, not even the Cokes. There was nothing there, and what had happened is all of the groomsmen and some of the bridesmaids got really high that night, and they just forgot the food. And
that was such a country wedding on so many levels.
Oh yeah, my buddy Kevin definitely looked like a dude named Jebediah, like he was a Mormon. He had that.
I mean, honestly, he looked like a guy named Kevin to me.